All right, continuing on with Open Wheel Tuesday, Silver Crowns at Kansas. Now, this car was originally designed to be the Gold Crown as a bit of a stepping stone between sprint cars, the Silver Crown, and IndyCar. And they actually did race a few races on the bigger tracks, but obviously, I mean, it's a massive death trap, and by far one of the ugliest cars ever designed. But it brings some crazy, crazy racing on iRacing. And yeah, people have a lot of fun with the drafting. And then you also have the massive tank hanging off the rear axle. That goes up to, I think, like 70, 75 gallons. So as you go through a race, and we're doing 67 laps in this one, the car is doing so much changing because you got a lightweight car with a massive fuel tank that's just burning off the fuel. So we're going green. 67 laps, like I said. Ben Zenner in the 15 is bringing him down. Outside of him is Brad Spittle or Spidell. Green flag's out. I'll get the standings up there and go through the field once it gets all sorted out. So we got 16 cars and 67 laps. And it's going to be a lot of drafting. So, I've never driven these cars at this track. I know most 1.5 miles, you just focus on the bottom, hold that line. It's kind of like Daytona. But you've also got all those handling changes I was talking about, and that's going to come into play. You can be set up good for the first 30 laps, and then just go to shit at the end of the race. So, got a pass for the lead as Spidel goes underneath in the 10 car, and he's going to take over the lead. It looks like the 15's dropping back quick, going up to the third line. We're 3 wide, and almost too deep, but just going to stick with 2 wide through most of the field. Down the backstretch, looks like Zenner's just going to work his way to the back, and now we've got the outside line coming up. That is the number 1 of Colin Brown. Trying to make the outside work with Joe Quinn in that pink and white car. The 14 of Lazinski is also trying to grab onto that outside line. We'll see if they can push their way forward, make anything happen with that. So, in the lead is Brad Spittle. Ian Lane in the 5. Then the 1 car, the first car on the outside lane, is Colin Brown. Dan Smith is in that yellow and black 13. We got the 3 car now going underneath, almost making it 3 wide. 13 gets onto the apron just a little bit. He's going to slide up, and that's going to check up the inside as they break apart. Outside line now working up. And up into second place now. Is he going to drop down, or is he going to stay up there with Quinn? Looks like he's just trying to get a little sniff of the draft from the 10 car. Doing 185 into turn 1 in these things, and that's just crazy that this car was designed. I mean, I'm glad that iRacing captured it because, you know, in 10 years we're going to look at this thing and just be amazed that anyone ever tried something like this. So as you can see, if you like Daytona, if you like Talladega, This is the series for you. I mean, this is NASCAR's wet dream. Draft packs, 3 wide, and yeah, crazy action all the time. So definitely, if you've never checked out this car, this is what you get when you race it. All right, Colin Brown now gets his nose just a bit ahead of the 10 car, takes the lead. Speidel is working, trying to get back there, just can't do it. Bottom line is dying out. Quinn and Brown are hooked up. We're right on board with Quinn. So as I said, coming off the corner, they're 181, 182 to 185. Midway through the corner, down to 175, and that's as low as they get. So you got a 10-mile-an-hour difference between the slowest part of the track and the fastest part. So 3 wide now. 3 car of Andre Castro trying to make that high side work, does do so, and is now going to be the leader of the top line. Just close racing action here. Little bit of wiggling around in mid-pack. That is Brandon Buchenberger just behind Vinny Sansone, and Lazinski in the 14 has dropped back into this pack. And then there's kind of the second pack back here. Everyone's just kind of hanging on, doing what they can to survive, not wanting to go up there and risk dying with these guys. So Castro's still working that outside. He's now by himself. Sansone's worked his way up to 6th and just behind the 13 of Dan Smith. We're finishing up lap 11. Colin Brown goes up high there. Looks like they're trying to drag along the 3 car every once in a while. It's also putting Quinn in a spot where he might move up and the 5 car might dive under him. That's Ian Lane. So now Castro's worked his way up to this lead group, and Brown goes up to block that. Are we going to have 3 wide for the lead? Quinn's going to get the lead now. Crosses the line, just barely gets it. Wheel to wheel. So outside line, looks like Brown is able to pull whichever line he wants ahead. He's definitely in charge, but again, we are only 13 laps into this, and the feel of the car can rapidly change on you about midway through these. Buchenberger working his way around Sansone. They're trying to get a little bit of the sniff of the draft up front. Quinn's still on the bottom underneath Castro. Very risky every time someone goes down to that apron, because are you going to have the room to come back up? Oh, little wiggle out of Brown there. I don't know if he got touched or that was his plan, but now we're 3 wide. 3 wide for 5th place to 2nd place, and now that is dropping back. The 6 car, that run did not work out. Oh my God, they're all over the track. Some amount of wide. We got 3 wide, and we got 2 wide, 4 rows back, 5 rows back. But Brown is able to hold off everyone. And oh, we got one. We got some incidents going on. It's like Buchenberger got over a wheel, and now he's trying to bring out a caution. That's not the type of stuff that you want to see in a series like this. Let's take a quick look at what happened there. He just runs straight into the back of the 15. Yeah, you got to go around him. Can't go through him. So he's going again. Up front, not a whole lot's changed. Still 2 and 3 wide. Three wide now for second. Third. We'll just call it 3 wide for the second row as Lane is going up the middle. Brown's going to block that, but now I think Quinn is underneath Brown for the lead again. Nope. Yeah, he's got a nose there. And I think Lane's got a nose there. So 3 wide for the lead. Coming off a 2. Quinn gets a little loose, but he's got some help from the 13. 3 cars helping the outside line. And the 5, Lane by himself, able to go straight up the middle. Is he going to get the lap lead here? He does. So Lane by himself through the middle gets to the lead. It looks like Brown's car might be falling off a bit. Lap 20, handling's going to change. Got some clouds that have just come over the track too, it looks like. So Lane now in the lead. Sansone now working his way up into this pack. And we've also got... Oh, we got one wrecking now. Hagen, though, has worked his way up, and now we're under caution. So, let's take a look at that one. That's the 11, Roland Johns, and I believe he was rolling. $14 just comes down into him and turns him straight up into the wall. So, bunch of 360s there. That's what happens when you're driving essentially just a frame and you hit a wall. So, that's going to stack us back up, let everyone calm down a little bit. Don't think we'll see tire changes, but it's been a few years since I've ran these, so we might see some tire changes. So, Ian Lane with that power move up the middle. That was a great move. I can't believe he did it by himself. Joe Quinn in the 4 is going to be behind him. Colin Brown in the 1. Andre Castro in the 3. Dan Smith in the 13. Sansone in the 2. And it does look like everyone's coming in the pits to get some tires. So fresh tires is going to help them out. Everyone gets into their stalls, and we'll see who comes out first. Are we going to do any 2 tire stops? I guess they changed front and then rear. Or rear and then front. Yep, front and then rear. So, really long stops with this car. We got a couple of quick stops. It looks like Dan Smith only took 2 tires and did a 10-second stop. Everyone else is in the 20-second range. So, Dan Smith in the 13. Going for a little strategy there. Colin Brown in the 1 is going to come out in second. Lane will drop back to third after getting the lead. And your pole sitter in the 10 car, or no, he was on the front row, Spittle. They have fallen back to 8th and 10th, the front row, from the start of this one. All right, lining them up. Nope, we're not. We're going one more time around. All right, so looks like we have lost 2 cars from that wreck, and the 6 as well, since he didn't get his caution that he wanted to have thrown. Now, the I rating in this series, I just looked at this. Number 1 car, he has a 7,044 I rating. The number 16 car, 2,695. There's some big time I ratings up here. Let's see. 10th place has a 4,000, or number 10 has a 4,356 I rating. 14 has a 3,000 I rating. I mean, it's just some stacked I ratings here. All right, starting them back double wide. Everyone's got fresh tires now. I believe Dan Smith only has fresh front tires. I don't know if you can just change right sides and it just shows him jacking up the front. But we'll see how that pays out. It gets him track position, but I don't think it's all that necessary, especially after seeing Lane go up the middle by himself. So going to be finishing up lap 25 as we restart this one. The restarts in these really one of the strangest things you can do. Takes a long time to get up to speed. Whoa, 13 with those 2 tires. Not working out. He saves it though. I think he's going to attach himself to the back of the pack. So Dan Smith, strategy not paying off right now for him. And that thing does not look stable. Back up front, Colin Brown onto the apron to block the inside. Lane behind him, and Castro going up high. Quinn following in the 4th place. Then Hagan and Sansone. So everyone's kind of building back up, getting ready to go into the pack racing again. And Castro dives from the middle down to the bottom onto the apron. Is he going to have room to come back up? Yes, he does. They're 3 wide for the lead through 1 and 2. And Castro makes that move pay off. Now Lane, can he get that middle line working? Get himself back up front? Sansone's worked his way on the bottom. Everyone's going to the high side, so he just took the bottom, and now he's up into 2nd. Cloud cover again. They're going to have a little bit more grip. So Castro in the 3, Sansone in the 2, Lane in the 5, and behind them, Colin Brown in the black number 1. He goes way up top, and that's going to maybe open the door. Hagan coming through in the 16 car. Not going to have a run, though. And he stays side by side with Quinn down the front stretch. Speeds through the center of the corner, 177, 178. So definitely some high speeds, and they're going a little bit quicker than they were, burning off that extra weight. Front three pulling away just a bit. The middle of the pack side by side and three wide. Your initial front row is now in 6th place and 8th place. Joe Quinn has really dropped back. He went up to that high side and it's just going backwards now. He was up there battling for 4th. So, down the backstretch. 182 miles an hour into the corner. Just a few inches apart. Middle of the pack, not going down to the apron. And they're starting to fall back more and more. I don't know if they need to get themselves sorted out or if they'll be able to catch, but the first three are just gone. And Brown finally gets to the bottom. I don't know if he's having some push issues, but he seems to slip up out of the corner. Lane now losing that pack. Just running slightly higher. Sansone and Castro are now getting about a half a second ahead of Brown. Lane's got himself back up there. Now once these guys go too wide, I'm guessing the rest of the pack's going to catch. If they survive. .34 complete now. Tanner McCall in the blue 7 car. He has worked his way up to mid-pack now and blinking out. Now that's gonna cause some fun for everyone. The 16 car now blinking out and it's kind of vanishing for a while, so that makes everyone spread out just a bit. Quinn's worked his way back up. I don't know if he went back to get the 15 or what, but he's found a partner that he can work with. And that 16, that is not going to help this second pack catch. Looks like got a lap car. I can't tell who that is. Is that the 6 car? Alright, so he's back out there. 17 laps down now. Top 4 all grouped up. Everyone's kind of, I don't know if they're searching for clean air. Oh, and now we got the lap car getting in the way and making contact with people in the pack. See if everyone can get around him cleanly. 10 car gets stuck behind him, and now the broken car runs up the wall. So he's out there to gain a couple of more spots from the people that are out of the race, but Now we got top 5 cars all packed together. So everyone's kind of coming back. These front guys have started to pick different lanes through the corners. That's slowed them down just a little bit. Sansone looking off of 2 underneath the 3 of Castro. He's got lane with him. Castro doesn't have anyone up top with him. And now we are on the start of lap 41. Castro comes down onto the apron with Sansone. Vinny's going to pull off that move. He's clear. Castro's got some room to drop down, but he decides middle line. Back on the outside now. He got a good run off of that corner. Let's see what it all looks like from Joe Quinn's on board. Down to 173 in the corner. Now looks like they're trying to form up a third line on the outside. Lane's working on trying to get past Castro. We've got 25 to go now. Definitely longer races with these, but like I said, that makes setup come into play big time with these cars. So we got about 2 distinct packs, really 4 different packs. We got the top 5. Dan Smith has recovered from getting loose with the 2-tire call that we think he took. Zenner in the 15. He is recovering from dropping back after the start. I think he was just trying to save himself, and now we're back 3 wide. 3 wide for second. Quinn and Brown working the high side. Trying to make it work. Castro in the middle and Lane on the bottom, and now he's looking to go up middle as everyone wants to just get to the lead. Lane now in the lead down the backstretch. Sansone pulls ahead in 3 and 4. Now we got 7 cars in this lead pack. At one time it was only 3, so it's gathered back up. They are doing 30.7s. Second pack is also doing 30.7, so it's kind of dead even right now. We might have had a wreck. Nope, we didn't. So everyone's reforming up. Let's take a look at the second pack. If these guys could get in the line and work together, I think they could run down this pack. Maybe they don't want to at the moment. But they are running about the same lap times. So if they could just get a little sniff of the draft and all get up there. Looks like Tanner's wanting to lead this pack. See if he can do it, but right now they're 3 wide for 8th place. Now Ryan Steele in the 8. He's going to take command of the second pack. They are 1.8 back, and we'll watch that gap. See what they can do with it. Back up front, Sansone and Quinn have now hooked up. They're going to take the bottom. Lane running that middle where we saw him shoot in between 3 wide and take the lead right before the pit stops. Under caution. And Dan Smith slowly working his way back up. Now, Brown. We saw him shoot to the lead early, and ever since then he's just slowly been dropping back. Not for sure if he's just playing around, trying to keep the tires under him, or if he's got his setup falling off because now he's probably burnt off 30 gallons of fuel in the back of it, and the balance is changing. But I assume with being the #1 car and a 7,000 I rating, he knows how to set it up. So, broken car on the inside stays out of the way. And it does look like that second pack has formed up single file. They are gaining. They were at 1.8. Now they're down to 1.5. And around 1.2, they should probably start getting a little bit of draft. Doing 30.5s. Front pack's doing 30.6s. So Lane's still working that middle and outside. Castro, Brown, and Zenner have fallen off just a little bit, but looks like they're not sure what Brown's doing in the one car. Trying to break the draft or something. And McCole and Steele with the rest of the pack, they're on him now. 1.3 off the lead and just a half a second off of this front, the back of the front group. So when it's all said and done, we are going to have 12 cars in this pack. It's all ramping up to a great finish as long as we stay green. Top 4 pulling away just a bit. Quinn's going to go to the middle. Look on the outside of Sansone. And now the 8-car Steele, he is there. He's pulled away from his group as he got the draft. They should all be coming with him quick. And Castro's going backwards. He was the leader when we restarted after a couple of laps after that restart. And now he is back into 8th and going to be falling even further. Second group now has their eyes on the 15 of Zenner. He's been kind of back and forth in mid-pack. Only time he was up front was at the start. So Steele's going to look on the outside of him. Back up front. Looking too wide. There we go. Quinn just running the middle, and it looks like he might lose the spot to Dan Smith. And Brown looks to be coming back. Working the bottom now. Well, now he's back up top. So, Steele's got past the 15. 15 gets a little bit loose as Tanner McClure got under him as well. And now the rest of the pack's going to be trying to get around him. Castro is now 12th at the back of this pack. Steele in the 8, now going to be trying to work his way around the 1 of Brown. Brown's running the high side in 1 and 2. Steele's going to go up and draft him, and we got one loose down the backstretch. Luckily, all that's paved, so he's able to hold on to it. And that's going to slow down this pack, and that makes it 7 cars up front. We'll see if they can chase down this group. 3 wide for second. Ooh, the 5 and 13 almost touch, and Lane gets a little bit scared. They almost touch again in 1 and 2. Luckily, Quinn wasn't on the outside, so they're still good. That drops him off 2/10 though from Sansone as he starts to pull away. Steele working his way under Brown. I think when the 8 and the 7 get to the front of this pack, they're going to start chasing down Vinny. But we've only got 7 laps to go now in this one. Fuel's burning off. Everyone's getting a little bit quicker. Tires are getting worn, though. So, quickly through the field, Sansone, Lane, Quinn, and Smith in that 3rd spot. And it looks like Smith's having some issues keeping it on the bottom now. He's pushing up in the center of the corner. That might be an issue. Tanner McClure now looking in the middle and 3 wide with the 13 car. I'm not sure if I would do that after seeing him pushing up in the corners. 3 wide, and it's a really tight 3 wide. Almost 4 wide, and there it is. That was never going to work. Quinn and Brown are the victims of that one. Let's take a quick look at it from this view. Looks like the second pack made it under the wreck. So, Tanner stuck his nose in there. Not a whole lot of room. And I don't think Quinn knew that he was there. I mean, they got to do what they got to do. But almost 4 wide is not going to work out at a narrow track like this. You can do that at Michigan, but now, does this give are we done here, or are we going to have a shootout? That's the question. I think this one might be over with. And that's unfortunate, because it was building up to a crazy finish. So as you can see on the dash, you'll see a yellow flashing light. That's the caution indicator that all these cars have in them. Something kind of different than anything that we have in iRacing. 7 cars got some massive damage, and he's in the 5th spot, so they gave him his spots back. But if this one goes green, I'm guessing that damage isn't going to be good for him. So, fastest lap of the race. Let's see if I can figure out who's got that. It's like a 30.2. .47. It's out of the number 9, Jeffrey Stanton. And yeah, we really haven't seen or talked about him all that much. So, really good draft lap for him at some point. Let's hope these pace lights go out. No need to pace around here when we could go back green. Now we do have cars laps down, and they are on track, so that's going to cause an extra lap. And yeah, this one's over with. That's unfortunate. It was shaping up to be a great race. And, I mean, the racing was great all the way throughout it, but would have liked to seen them race it out at the end. So, we'll go through the finishing order. Sansone, Lane, Smith, Steele, McCool, Hagan, Zenner, Spidell, I don't know. Muse in the 12, Castro in the 3, which, man, there was like a 10-lap gap where he went from the lead to all the way in the back. Stanton in the 9, and Brown limping around with a really damaged car. And then Quinn in the infield, along with Johns, Buchenberger, who is still out there after trying to cause a caution. So getting the white flag under yellow. Going about 120 miles an hour slower than they should be right now. Sansone will pick up the win in the 2 car. And he started way back in the field. But like I said, with this car you got a couple of options. Set up for early speed or set up for the late speed. And back when I was running, Vinny was really good about setting up for that late race speed. And it paid off. I think Lane had a chance to go to the middle and the outside. He was doing good. I don't think the 13 of Smith was going to be able to do much on the bottom. So it looked like he was starting to push up. Steele and Tanner, I think if they could have got past Brown and Quinn quicker, and without wrecking, obviously, they would have had a chance to contend for the win. And then everyone else, they were just doing what they could to get around, but I don't think they had a shot, even if they were in a big pack. So, Sansone gets the win, and hope you enjoyed the glimpse of the Silver Crown, or Gold Crown as it was called in real life. But yeah, you can see it offers that Daytona draft pack stuff when it's at these 1.5 miles and bigger. So give it a try. I'm sure that they'll hook you up with some setups in the forums, although I don't know how the community is now. But good to see that 2 splits happened. 32 cars signed up for this spot. So I think Tuesday and Thursday nights is when they run. So hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, hit the like button. Thanks.